are now tuned in to the TNF podcast. Here's your host, Jay Curtis Strickland.
Welcome to the TNF podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe, click on that bell for notifications. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give us a follow and give us a rating. That would be fantastic. A few things I want to promote. My friend John Cuccinello has a book called Come Inside and Meet My Punk Rock Family. It's a graphic novel that chronicles all the characters that John has met in his hardcore and punk rock journey. It's on sale at revhq.com. 12% of the proceeds go to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So check one out. I think you'll really enjoy them. I think it's a limited press too, but they're also doing a volume 2. So pick one up, help out. And my friend Lou Collar is still battling cancer. I've been communicating with his brother Pete pretty frequently, and he says that he's doing a lot better, that he's mobile and kind of moving around and stuff. So that's really good to hear. But he's still dealing with his hospital bills. So I have set up a QR code that I'll be putting in the video for his GoFundMe. So please, anybody, if you can support giving a small donation, even if it's just $1, that goes a long way. They also have merch for sale on Pete's Instagram at Pete Sick of It All NYC on Instagram. So please go ahead and check that out. And I have a merchandising company called Hell's Heart Merch Co. Go on over to hellsheartco.bigcartel.com. Use the code podcast for 20% off your entire order. Fine Bella Canvas, Next Level, Tri-Blend t-shirts. They really feel amazing. If you like movies, if you like hardcore, we've got movie-themed and hardcore-themed t-shirts. So please check one out. They feel really soft. You'll really appreciate your purchase. All right. So, returning to the TNF podcast is a New York hardcore OG, Cro Mags and Bloodclot frontman, survivor, Ironman competitor, and living proof that discipline can be louder than chaos. He's also the author of Unfuck Your Health and Destroying Monsters, carrying the same no bullshit philosophy from the streets to the page. Ladies and gentlemen, John Joseph. Thanks for coming back, John.
Jesus, that was painful to listen to.
Was it?
Nah, I'm just kidding. What's up?
Oh, man, I really glad to have you back, man. I heard from your social media that there is going to be a re-recording of the Age of Quarrel. Can you shed a little bit more light on that?
Not much. I mean, it's already recorded. None of the original members that played on the record are involved. I guess it's the my former bass player feels whatever. I don't know why the hell why he did it. I don't know. You know, who cares, dude? I'm doing new music. I mean, the dude put out a 5 CD box set, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and without our permission of live performances, and you know, didn't take care of anybody in the band. So whatever, dude. If you need money, I don't know. Like, who cares? I'm doing new music, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a classic record, and you know, whatever. I think a lot of people are kind of sounding a similar kind of, you know, vibe to the whole thing. Why do that? You know, go write some new music, dude, you know? So
right.
Whatever, you know.
Why hasn't he ever thought to do a remaster of that album? Is that even possible? Because I thought about that years ago.
He doesn't own the masters. Steve Plotnicki from Profile owns the masters, and you know, we were talking with Joe Nelson, who just I trust, and they just did the Bad Brains catalog. He's been trying to get the rights from Steve Plotnicki, but apparently the old bass player threatened him online or whatever, and the guy was like, "Well, now I'm never giving you the masters," and you can sue me. I got millions of dollars and whatever the hell. And I mean, I told Joe anyway, if he puts that record out, I don't want nothing to do with the re-release. It's a dead issue at this point for me. Like I said, I got another Bloodclot record coming out, and I'm doing some other music. My boy Danny Ilchuk wrote some songs that are not even anything to do with hardcore or punk, and so I'm going to be singing on that stuff, and I'm busy with so much other stuff, and I mean, that dude was reaching out to me all the last couple of years to do the 40-year reunion. Nobody wants to be involved. That's where it's at, and I learned my lesson after giving somebody multiple chances and just pulling the same old bullshit over and over and over. Money missing, fucking just treating people like shit. That's why G-Man and all of them just quit, Like, yeah. He's got a documentary out. How come none of the original members that were in the Mags are in it? Yeah, you got to ask yourself that. I don't think Kevin or Doug or Mackie or myself would have really anything good to say. So that's the end of that issue. There will be no reunion shows. There will be no record. I mean, he can go do whatever he wants. I could care less.
Yeah. It's just a shame because it is such a classic record. And, one of the things I was discussing with some of my friends, it's like, let the past be the past, like this thing exists. It's really influential. A lot of people really enjoy it. I appreciate it. I wouldn't have found my path to Krishna Consciousness without that record. And it's a phenomenal piece of history. Just let it lie and don't try to retool everything as this revisionist approach,
Especially when, what are you going to do? You think you're going to actually think you're going to do a better job? And as raw and hardcore as it was, a lot of people don't know. I sang that record straight through. I did one song after another, after another, after another. That was is that my vocal ability now? I should hope not, but anyway, it is what it is. It was a classic time. I came out of the temple and injected, Prabhupada's teachings. That's why I named it Age of Quarrel, Kali Yuga, all of that. Then none of that would have, Homeboy had the audacity to say, I wonder what would have happened if we would have got Roger instead of him. It's you wouldn't have got Age of Quarrel. That's what would have happened. And I was the original singer in '81. And then when I left the temple, I had to, thinking I'm getting my spot back. And when they fired Eric after 2 shows, it was Paris wanted him, or Kevin, whatever the fuck he calls himself now. And Harley wanted me, or whatever, and I had to audition and I got the spot back. So that's the end of that. And the rest is history, so to say. So,
Well, and you're doing great things now.
To Roger, he's done great with Agnostic Front. It's a different vocal style. I got respect for Roger and everything he's done over the years in Agnostic Front. That's not a dig at him, but it's my fucking band. I was in there since day one. The original lineup wasn't even Mackie and Paris. It was me, him on bass, Dave Stein, and Dave Hahn, the Bad Brains manager. We rehearsed for months. It's in the Big Takeover magazine. There's the proof, all this shit. I'm not the original singer and all this is nonsense. It's always been to try to discredit me for whatever reason. I could care less. I've been on the scene since 1980. Before that, punk rock. So, there you go.
Yeah. Well, and you seem to have moved on to a lot of, really great things. I understand that you are doing a film, or not a film noir, a crime neo-noir novel that you just picked up a deal with Ryan Adams Publishing Company. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, here it's funny because like it's that 6 degrees of separation shit. Like my girl was like Erica was listening to some music in the car. That's the book, by the way. That's the cover
Oh,
of
cool.
I don't know if you can see it. There you go. City
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Fear, the novel, noir, real dark, set in 77, the first book. But Erica was playing the some Ryan Adams. I was like, yo, who the hell is that? She's like, Ryan Adams, man. He's like, he's friends with Jesse Malin. I was like, yo, that shit's dope. Like that dude can fucking
Yeah.
sing. And then we went to see him in Jacksonville down here, and I gave him a copy of the memoir, Evolution of a Cro-Magnon, and I gave him this classic, like, he's a huge Bad Brains fan, so I gave him, like, I had this old, like, Bad Brains jacket, like, from back in the day that I never wore, and I gave him that and whatever, and then he's on the road, and I get this message from him on Instagram, and he was like, yo, dude, this book is unbelievable. It's like so well written. Did you ever think about? And by the way, I don't use ghostwriters. A lot of these people that are like, yeah, my book. If you didn't write the book, it's you're not a writer. You're not a writer.
Right.
You had a ghostwriter write your book. That's the writer. I wrote every page, every word, and he basically was like, did you ever think about writing fiction? I said, I'm working on something now called City of Fear. He's like, what's it about? And I just told him, and the rest is history. So so to speak. And so I'm almost done with that. I've been working for months on that. And it's funny because he told me, like, back in the day, he goes, you probably don't remember this, but when I first came to New York, I was like this young punk kid, and these like skinheads in Tompkins Square Park were picking on me, and you fucking walked up and were like, yo, motherfuckers, like, leave the kid alone. And I was like, kind of was like, unless otherwise you're gonna have the whole crew come down on you. And like they were like, oh shit, we didn't know he was your friend. And then he's like, yeah, so that was kind of interesting for him. I said, I'd be lying if I tell you I remember that, because I hate bullies, so I've done that countless times. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on a spoken word for next year about growing up in New York City and the arts and all that. And there's somebody writing the songs for that, some music for that. And so he just sent me one song that I sent him lyrics for from Destroying Monsters, and he wrote this incredible. The guy's gifted, Danny Ilchuk. He used to work with the Bad Brains. He makes beats and puts songs together and all that. So we're pursuing that, and I'm doing just a bunch of stuff. I wrote some songs with Danny Schuler's kids, Jake, which is pretty cool because it's going to be the last Bloodclot record, and Danny played on the first one, so it's kind of like the bookends of the Schulers. And Jake's a great kid. His son Colton is like a phenomenal drummer. AJ heard him and was like, that kid's a monster. And then, Tom Capone had written some songs. I got one song from Todd Youth that me and him, it was like the last song that we wrote together, and it was about relapsing and how anybody could fall from grace and all that. And then he passed away. So I'm kind of putting that one on the record as a tribute to him. Yeah, so whatever, in due time, I'm releasing some singles of this other music with Danny Ilchuk, and then which is going to have like crazy musicians on it. It's a real challenge vocally for me to do this stuff. It's not hardcore or punk. So and then the Bloodclot record, which and just other projects and stuff like that. I'll be starting book 2 coming up in like March or something. I just got to let the dust settle on this, man. It's so fucking crazy. This book is like, I created fictional characters, but it's set in the real world of 77, so it's very historically correct. And it's gonna. I'm enjoying writing it, and So that's that.
From real life experiences, because I'm a big film noir fan myself, like what sort of books or literature or films did you draw from, like Eleanor Leonard or Raymond Chandler, anybody like that, or old Humphrey Bogart films?
And I've read that, all that. I love all that stuff from back in the day. So I read what the hell was this book? Lush Life. I was reading. That's like, it's kind of set more modern, and yeah, but just I don't as far as like storytelling goes, I got fucking lifetimes of those. So it's, and I have a screenwriting background too. Even before I ever started writing this, that's why Evolution of a Cro-Magnon came across very cinematic, because I came from writing screenplays under Robert McKee. Yeah.
Boom. Yep.
And I wrote a pilot right before the pandemic, 2018, and I actually had Howie Tannenbaum, who was Vince Gilligan's agent, fly me out to LA and all that, take a meeting with me and shop the pilot. It was about a detective in New York who brought down the angel dust trade that I was involved with. And it ended up, it was a little tough because I'm a first-time writer, and it was a period piece. But then you had the pandemic, and then the writer's strike, and then ICM got acquired by CAA, so it's a whole new whatever the hell. I just listen, I just love writing. That's it. I just write. I wake up and start getting stuff on the page, man. That's what it's all about. And whether it's film or book or whatever. And I'm writing a stage thing now, which is the magic of New York, which is like, I just was there and it's just doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah. As far as media is concerned, we were talking about this a little bit before, but the Krishnas and the Monkey on a Stick documentary, that was pretty like within the cultural zeitgeist for a while. And I was just curious as to what your thoughts were on the accuracy of it. Like, do you actually feel like they conveyed the information well? And then, like,
point out they left out main players because one of them has a team of lawyers and threatened lawsuits that if his name comes up in a bad light. And he's done so much crap that was done down in West Virginia. I don't even want to mention his name because he sues everybody. He has a team of lawyers. Right. But he's the one who paid the contract for Sulochan for him to be killed. And just everything that Kirtan Ananda was doing, that was his right-hand man. So you can't tell me you didn't know all the nonsense that was going on. And, they did Wild Wild Country. And I'll tell you right now, if somebody does the real documentary on these people, that'll make that documentary look like fucking Boy Scouts. Because
like all the stuff that happened outside of West Virginia and whatnot.
Everywhere, the raping of the children, the beating of people, selling drugs out of the temple. The one guy just died, Vikreshwar Pandit. He was a gangster, and I was not afraid of him at all. He threatened me because I exposed that he was selling cocaine and marijuana out of the Brooklyn Temple while he was the temple vice president. The stuff, they've stolen millions and millions of dollars. You're supposed to be in the renounced order of life, and you got bank accounts with millions of dollars stashed in it, all of them. And then this one guy, Trivikram, was just down over here, and he said in the Sunday feast that people ask, how can children in the movement get molested? They don't realize it's their karma. And I did not let that slide. He said that in front of Prabhupada, in front of the deities, and the Sunday feast. And it just turned into this whole thing. And myself and Krishna Bhakta, who's been speaking out against the nonsense, he's like you know, he's like from Belfast, Ireland, man. He was a black belt in judo. Like he lives down here with me now, and you know, he's got an arsenal down here. We go shooting, whatever, and he's like,
he lived in New York, right?
Yeah. He lived in New York, and he started calling out Bhavananda, who was like, you know, do whatever you want outside of the temple, but you don't go to gay bars at night and then come to the temple and then sit there putting down married couples that they're dogs and can't control their senses. I seen him doing the whole thing, and it was Nick Cooper. You know, that's Paula Cooper's mother's the biggest art dealer in Soho. His father was Neil Cooper, who ran Reach Out International Records, put the Bad Brains thing out. So I knew Nick Cooper from the Beastie Boys and that whole scene in like early, you know, 81 and all that. And I kept telling him to come to the temple, come to the temple. And then I was like, oh, there's this guru, come to the temple. And we open up the temple door, and he looks and he goes, that guy's gay. He was kissing a man in my mother's gallery last night. And I was like, just a knucklehead, like, yo, I'm supposed to like beat the crap out of you now. Get out of here. He's like, I don't care if you believe. He was the first one to expose him. And he stole money from the movement, and then he goes in and does a gay porno theater in Sydney. I mean, just despicable. And now he was just in charge of Mayapur, and millions of dollars are missing. These people they're thieves in the name of Prabhupada. And nobody ever appointed any of them to be gurus. And look at the original 11. Every one of them fell down. Like, Shiksha Guru is one thing. Anybody, Vinny Signorelli from the Dots is a type of guru to me. That's who brought me to Krishna Consciousness and preached to me. That's a Shiksha Guru. Diksha Guru has to be a pure devotee. To think some jerk off from like that's doing all kinds of nonsense is going to take your karma from past lives, and I could sit here in New York and offer food to him while he's in Bombay is friggin' ridiculous. These people, they're just frauds. And I've been speaking out. I've been ostracized by the movement. You know, they say I'm an offender. It's kind of like the COVID cult, the branch Covidians, you know. You can't question anybody. If you have a difference of opinion, they try to destroy you. You know, they got names for you, anti-vaxxer or great offender in the movement. I don't give a shit. I'll take all the accolades, man. I speak the truth. You know, none of these people. Oh, and then, by the way, Trivik Ram just got caught having sex with his female disciple, and he's no longer in the movement. So there you go. So all of these people, they're doing shit to kids. Lokanath was molesting a little girl, and then when the parents would come in the room, he was acting like he was reading Bhagavatam to her. These people are despicable. Even prisoners know what to do with pedophiles when they go to prison. They're hunted down. But the movement protects them worse than the Christian church. Worse.
Where do you think the Vaishnavism goes from here? Because, you know, Prabhupada
as the guru of this movement, that's why I'm down in Florida. Prabhupada, I know shit's getting ready to hit the fan. Everybody's asleep. They think, oh, COVID's over. Yay, go back. Mosh. You know, they don't realize what's coming. You think these people, after 89% of the planet got on their knees for them, that they're going to stop? They're going to come out with some other fear tactic to push the next agenda. They're going to shut down the grid. They're going to do whatever they need to do. So Prabhupada said, get the farms together. That's why I'm down here. That's what I'm working on. That's, you know, so if you just keep accepting one bogus guru after another, like, you know, if anybody doesn't know who Prabhupada is, go watch a documentary called Your Ever Well Wisher on YouTube. Prabhupada was not an ordinary person. He was a divine, you know, spiritual person, man, who came here to help humanity, much like Jesus Christ. And, you know, and then look what they did to Jesus Christ. They poisoned Prabhupada too. Tamal and all of them isolated Prabhupada away, wouldn't let his disciples come see him. Where's all the tapes from the last like month plus of Prabhupada on the planet? There's a whole bunch of tapes missing. because that's where he was saying, here's how to carry on the movement after my departure. Nobody appointed them as gurus. You show me a letter where Prabhupada said these 11 are now taking disciples. He said they should initiate on my behalf. No change. That's what was already happening.
And didn't Tamal himself actually say that as well? Like, look, I was wrong. Yeah.
So he started getting too powerful in the other ones and then saying, I'm Prabhupada's successor. And they got envious and took away his disciples. So he went to the pyramid house and spilled the beans on all of them. That Prabhupada never appointed any of us as guru. We've done the greatest disservice to the movement. See, these young devotees that's all running around now, they don't know none of this stuff. They weren't around for this stuff. Sold the 55th Street Temple when Prabhupada said never sell this building. Adi Keshav, the scammer. That building's worth $90 million now. He sold it for what? 2.3 and pocketed the money and went and bought a sunglass business and split it up with the other demons. And, you know, that's the whole thing is like, you know, then after he spilled the beans, they gave him back his disciples.
Right.
They were like, oh, okay, no harm, no foul. Everybody keep quiet. And they did that to this other devotee that kept bringing up, like, yo, you guys are bogus. They said, why are you making waves? Dude, we'll make you the 12th guru. Just keep quiet. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much evidence. Prabhupada, my friend Vish from Rita was in India, and Prabhupada was giving class, and all of the big bogus gurus, Tamal and all of them were in the room. And Prabhupada closed his eyes and said, someone in this room right now is thinking, when will this old man die so I can take his place? Prabhupada also said, demons have come in the garb of devotees to destroy the movement from within. He also said, it is a fact, there is a sinister movement within our society. Who was he talking about? Look what these people have done. And now they just keep protecting pedophiles and thieves and people that are doing crazy things in the name of spirituality. I just look at them and they look off. They're fucking, their aura is just fucking dark, man. I don't see no light coming from that one guy who's like the big guru in the movement now that everybody's following.
Yeah, and you know, I experienced that here recently. I have a merchandising company, 10th Canto, which we do like devotee themed t-shirts, but like kind of in the vein of punk rock and hardcore.
Kidding me?
And one of the
that's a spiritual person. That's a haunted person right there. That's a person that's making offenses to Prabhupada, and he's gonna pay. Just like Jai Patak. Look at him, he's all crippled up, fucking stroke, this, that. He was one of the ones that poisoned Prabhupada. And fucking they're all getting smashed now. And then they tried to put a contract out of me when I spoke out in Spin Magazine and did all that shit.
Yeah.
And
I think
I told Rakesh Pandit because he sold steroids and guns. He intimidated me, thought he did when I was 20 years old. He threatened me after I exposed him. And I go, dude, I'm not like these other dudes in this temple. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to put a fucking pipe across the back of your head. Don't fuck with me, bro.
Yeah.
You know? And
and
then started spreading bogus rumors about me and like to try to discredit me. And I stepped right to him at the Rath Yatra. I was like, say that shit to my face right now. And he was like, I never said that. Da, da, da. And John Watson, first singer at Gnostic Front, Jayanta, was like, no, you said it. You told me that. I go, you're lucky I don't fucking knock you out right now, Vikresh, because you're a bully. All of them have been getting smashed. The one guy, Bhakti Tirtha, having sex with women, and then he got exposed, and then he sent her to Africa, and she got murdered in Africa. And her best friend devotee used to come to our temple on St. Mark's and told me the whole story. And then look what happened to him. Krishna took him out hard. Listen, if you offend Prabhupada, like some people say some shit, I'm like, dude, if you ever say that type of shit in front of me, you better have seriously good fucking medical insurance and a dental plan. Because I'm gonna fucking, you don't say that shit in front of me. And either they're going to suffer in this life or the next, you know, because of
Well,
what they've done. They're selling off all the temples. They're letting the temples go in disarray and selling them off and stealing the money. Look at what just happened. Bhakta just told me that they just stole this temple in Costa Rica.
I didn't know about that.
Guru. Yeah, he said he's a guru. Somebody, a very wealthy woman, donated a big property and all this shit and put all this money into the temple and built it up. He friggin' sold it for millions of dollars and stole the money. And then the secretary that he had in charge, he was having sex with. This is a guru. These people, listen, these people they gotta fucking go. You want to know what the future of the movement is? Get rid of the cancer. Cut them out of the movement. All these devotees are wishy-washy. Oh, don't make a fan. If you're not acting like a Vaishnav, then it's not a Vaishnav aparat. It's not an offense. The truth is not an offense. Bob Marley said that.
Yeah, and you know, like recently I had experienced something with 10th Canto, my shirt company. You know, somebody tried to hijack that from me, one of the aforementioned, you know, disciples of the guru. And yeah, and I was supposed to be in India in a few days, and I think they probably would have killed me over there, like just based on everything that they were doing, you know?
They poison you. They poison this devotee that is with us, and he's putting the money up behind the lawsuit for the children. And he went to somebody's house, and then he got deathly ill and almost died. I said, they poisoned you. Don't go to any of these people's houses. That's what they do. You want to walk up on me? Bring it, motherfuckers. That's what I say. I don't go and eat anything at their temples or anything because I know how these people operate. This is a business where they're making billions of dollars in a tax-free shelter. You don't think they're going to resort to violence? Don't be stupid. Don't be naive.
Right.
Go. Just like the final order that was put together by Krishna Consciousness. It was the GBC bogus gurus that hired him to prove their case. When he did all the research, and he's part of the Mensa Society, he's genius level, Indian body from England. He said, no, you guys are bogus. They're the ones speaking the truth. And he put out the final order. So if you go to ISKCONIRM.com, you'll see all the evidence of all the bogus gurus, what they say and how it contradicts what Prabhupada said on the exact same subject. And if you think these people are beyond like trying to poison you, I had this little meatball Indian when I was giving out the magazines, I don't know, 5 years ago, tell me, if you go to India, we're going to have you killed. And I just snatched him up by his fucking neck. And I go, well, you're in New York City now. How about I drag you down this fucking alley and put you out of your misery and beat the living shit out of you? Don't threaten me, dude. You don't fucking know who you're talking to over here. I'm not trying to play a tough guy. You're going to say you're going to have me killed? That's fucking violence, bro. And violence is met with violence. I don't give a shit. That's just the way it is. And look what they did to Brahma Buddha. You spoke of Brahma Buddha. Look what they did to him in Detroit. They beat him up in front of his wife. These are devotees?
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. They beat him up in front of his wife, and they said, come back next year with all your tough guys. They'll get the same thing. Well, guess what? I went back next year, and I called all the dudes from Detroit hardcore scene, and we went over there.
Cold as life.
Cold as life crew. And you know what they did? They told the cops that because the cops were black, and they said we were white power people. I said, we got black people and Spanish people with us. I was like, and they told us we got to leave the park. It was Bell Island. They had the Rathiatra. And I just went up to the biggest dude who was hitting Brahma, and I go, you ain't so fucking tough now, are you, right? You talked all that shit, and then here we are. You don't do nothing, and then you call the police on us. This is who these people are. And then when we went to Philly, the same guy went down there, and Joe Hardcore and a bunch of fucking bangers surrounded that dude and told him, you ever threaten Brahma or anyone about devotees again, and you're gonna fucking get it. And now he's got Parkinson's bad or Alzheimer's. They all get their karma, man. When you do stuff to Prabhupada and Prabhupada's devotees, you're gonna suffer for that.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
That's my 2 cents on the whole thing.
Well, yeah. It's just crazy because it's like there's a lot of people that come, like you mentioned, there's a lot of younger people that come into the movement and don't necessarily know a lot about the history of it. I didn't initially because it was shielded from me. They're like, don't look at anything online, and then it's like,
who I took initiation from had sex with a 15-year-old girl and stole $2 million and left the movement. They don't know what these people have done. And now he's back, like acting like he's a fucking holy man. Yo, these people don't know, and they don't want to tell you what the history is in the movement. So my thing is, I'm the first person in hardcore to get into Krishna consciousness, like, and I didn't come out wearing robes on stage. That wasn't us. We didn't lose. I didn't lose my street cred just because I got into Prabhupada and Krishna. I carried that into what I was doing. And that's why I think Age of Quarrel had more of an effect, because it wasn't preaching. It was like, we're not going to hit you with a fucking flower. We're going to hit you with a fucking bat. And that's just what it was about, because you don't lose your identity. That's like, I grew up on the streets, like literally, man. In foster homes and incarcerated and spent 2 years in the worst places in New York, and then came back out on the streets and fighting and doing all that shit. It wasn't like like it wasn't cosplay. It was fucking real.
Right. Yeah.
Like when I fought the hitmen, nobody in the scene would hang out with me. My ex-bass player's mother was like, stay away from him. He's going to get murdered. They put a KOS on me. Nobody would hang out with me, but I didn't let that shit go down. I fucking fought a bunch of them. I knocked one of them out, one of the main dudes. Like that's just what it was all about. We never I never lost my identity of who I was and where I came from. I just added Krishna consciousness to the
Krishna.
mix.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's what it's all about. And I wasn't fighting for no reason at all. Now I get to fight on the behalf of Prabhupada and the devotees and protect the devotees. And that's what I did. They were getting beat up for handing out back to Prabhupada magazines. Ask Brahma about the whole thing. I put a stop to that. I had fucking bikers and gang members and special forces motherfuckers and MMA people and gang members from LA strapped going to protect the devotees. That's just what it takes. You want to be violence, we're going to show you violence. It's like, you want violence, dude. Don't step into this world unless you're ready for a fucking war, because that's what's going to happen. And then once we met their violence with violence, they all backed off.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what it comes down to.
Rama will tell you all the stories, man, of who protected him in San Francisco and Atlanta and all over, man. I sent people, if I couldn't be there, I called people up, like calling in a favor. Yo, do me a favor, protect this guy. DC, all of it. That's our job. If we're fighters and warriors, what are you going to fight? For your own ego? Oh, I'm a tough guy. No. The Kshatriyas in the Varnashram Dharma are supposed to protect the Brahminical class of people. And that's what me and my friends were doing. So yeah, maybe this motherfucker was eating a hamburger, but you know what? When I blew that conch show, that dude was right there and putting his shit on the line for Prabhupada. So you know what? He's better than 9/10 of them.
Yeah. Well, and it's just unfortunate because there's so many people that do come with good intentions and try to be pure-hearted and approach everything from just a position of wanting to serve Krishna and the devotees. And then you've got these vultures and these, like you said, cancerous type people that are in there that will take advantage of that and just completely, and then that turns everybody off from, my guys are falling, that turns everybody off from spirituality because of individuals like that are predatory and that are, trying to exercise some sort of ulterior motive for their own personal gain in the name of spirituality.
And then you got to give them money, Guru Dakshin and all this shit. Like, it's all, and then they want the worship. Not even the president of the United States gets his feet washed in yogurt, and then the dude's like drinking it, like the guy's like drinking the dude's toe cheese and giving him his money and all the rest of the shit that goes with it. And listen, most of these devotees are innocent. They don't know. They're being hustled. And it's our job to expose these people. It's just like when we spoke up in the Alachua temple to Trivikram, this Indian stands up and starts yelling at Krishna Bhakta. And Krishna Bhakta says, go sit down. Your so-called guru was banging one of his disciples' wives. And the guy was just like, and then he went and sat down. So who are you defending? Are you defending a pure devotee or are you defending a scumbag?
So should the guru system be that people initiate on behalf of Prabhupada and not on...
That's what he set up. He set up no change. That was the system that was in place. But just like anti-vaxxer, they want to label you Ridvik. I'm not a fucking Ridvik. I'm a disciple of Prabhupada. I am a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I ain't got nothing. Ridvik is just, that's the system of initiation that Prabhupada installed. It means the priest carries out the fire sacrifice. And Prabhupada said, who's ever closer, that's who does the fire sacrifice, the yajna, and gives the beads. And Prabhupada would give the name in a letter. And then after his departure, he said, yeah, you could give the name, but they're my disciples. They're not your disciples.
Right.
The July 9th letter. Like,
yeah.
Just all of it, it's a hustle. And why would Prabhupada ever appoint 11 cheaters to be gurus and cheat people? Every one of them fell down. Satsarup, every single one of them. Every single last one of those 11 fell down and did horrible shit. And that's who Prabhupada, you think Prabhupada said, none of you are qualified to be Diksha Guru. Where's the tapes from before? They isolated Prabhupada in India. Prabhupada said, please tell my devotees to come see me, my disciples. And they told the temples, Rameshwar and all of them, Prabhupada said to stay in the temples. We can't afford to have any financial difficulties. And Prabhupada was crying, and they isolated him in India. These are cold-hearted scumbags. And Prabhupada said, somebody's been poisoning me. They found cadmium and arsenic and all kinds of stuff in his hair samples. And these people are despicable, man.
I had Vraja Kishore on this show. Do you think they did the same thing to Ayendra?
Well, he started calling out that they were all bogus. And then next thing you know, he's blown up in India.
Yeah. I tend to believe that it wasn't like...
I was in the temple. I helped Ayendra build his first Harinam truck. I go way back with Ayendra Prabhu.
Wow. Yeah, I tend to believe... because
out against the gurus, and all of a sudden he gets axed.
Yeah. But I think they said that his door was locked from the outside or something like that. They barred the...
That is suspect. Listen, they can do anything. They can pay somebody $100 to kill you in India.
Yeah.
That's just, it's like everybody's paid off. Everybody's corrupt. The cops are corrupt.
Yeah.
You know, they tried to storm Madhu Pandit's temple in Bangalore and friggin' kill people and take the temple. These people are ruthless.
Yeah.
You know?
And man.
Listen, this is my... for me, this is the real battle, because this is the battle between the real good and evil. These other miscreants out here doing this shit during COVID, they're just little demons in Kali Yuga. All these fucking people with the New World Order. That's just like, yo, get a quick slap, get out of here. It's like an insect bug. These are the real demons, because the Prabhupada said this movement can save humanity. And they infiltrated the movement and installed these bogus fucking people and led everybody astray. Book distribution is down by 90%. All the stuff that they've done. It's not by accident.
Probably because they don't give these ones out. That might be their karma.
How is it an offense to distribute the original Bhagavad Gita? Jayadwaita is a fucking ghoul. Look at that guy. That's who's changing Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. And then he's like in the temple going, Prabhupada. This isn't the Prabhupada movement. You know? I was like, dude, see those big chiclets you got in your mouth? Like, if you said that shit in front of me, bro, them shits would be on the floor. I don't give a shit, dude. If you make an offense, listen, we come from a sampradaya of warriors, not fucking pussies. We come from a sampradaya of warriors. Arjuna, Krishna. Look at Bhakti Siddhanta. He would hit you over the head with his danda in India if you talked Mayavadi philosophy. They called him the Nrsinga Guru. We're not backing down. And for the first time, somebody took these people on. It was the first time it's ever happened to them. Nobody would stand up to them. Once I knew the philosophy, and Kapindra Swami, who I did the benefit for on MTV and ran the soup kitchen and all that, he was the first one to tell me in '83 that none of these guys were appointed by Prabhupada to be gurus. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he enlightened me to the whole shit. And that's when I left the temple. And then I've been fighting them ever since, exposing them. Because this is the real movement. It stops everything.
And, you know, like, as far as with, I hope we didn't lose you there. You still there?
The universe didn't like. I guess the powers that be didn't like what I was.
Well, you know, it's funny because I think we had tried to do this probably about a year ago or something, and the internet in my whole neighborhood went out. The whole neighborhood, and I was like, oh man, somebody doesn't want Sean talking.
Guys, this is a spiritual battle. You're never going to defeat these people in what they're doing on a material plane. This is a spiritual battle. That's why they're doing all this shit to destroy the pineal gland and all this shit they're putting in the shots and the chemtrails and they're still saying, the chemtrails, yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. And it's like these people are demons. They want to control everything, but they're just the mini demons. The real demons are the ones who infiltrated the movement and stopped the one thing that can check Kali Yuga. And it's going to happen. Prabhupada said, get the farms together. The war is coming. He said, if the books stop going out, the bombs will drop. And with book distribution down 90%, you know, everybody made fun of me. Oh, yeah, he moved to Florida with his fucking right-wing bullshit. I ain't no wing, motherfucker. My shit I follow the wing of the truth. I called out every fucking president, Republican, Democrat, whatever, even Trump, right? Oh, yeah, MAGA, Cro Maga, and all their fucking stupid shit. I had people threatening me. Where are you, right? All these hardcore fucking loudmouths. Yo, when I see you, it's on. Bring it, motherfuckers. You think I'm scared of any of this bullshit? Listen, man. I'm not trying to be a tough guy or whatever, but when you're threatening my life and threatening me, then you better fucking be serious about what you're fucking saying.
And now the thing is that they don't even really like threaten you directly anymore. And like you've experienced this on multiple occasions where they'll just try to digitally cancel you. Like they'll remove your Instagram account or your Facebook account. Like I had an Instagram account deleted. And in fact, the show that you did before, like in 2022 on this channel, they demonetized it. They slapped like a little note on there saying, this is misinformation, blah, blah, blah. This, you know.
That I posted on my old account of over 140,000 people, and I'm getting 2,000 messages and fucking 15,000 likes, all turned out to be the truth. And you know who was reporting my account? The hardcore scene.
Hardcore. Yep.
And when they kept reporting it, and then they were like, my friend would follow some of them, and he was like screenshotting, yeah, we got his fucking account taken down. And then Joe Rogan gave me a shout out, and he's like, yo, follow my friend John Joseph's new account. And within like a week, I had another 35,000. And they were saying, yo, Rogan gave him a shout out. Keep reporting his new account. We got to get that taken down too. This is hardcore. Sorry, Joe McKay. That's not a dig toward you. I love you, but this is the hardcore scene. You sided with the enemy. Now they're all quiet. Now they're all like, oh, I trust my doctor, the old bass player that I played with. I don't listen to fucking singers on. But guess what? Little did he know his doctor was getting paid for every fucking shot that he injected. The one doctor said she would have made $1.5 million in bonuses if she injected her fucking entire list of patients with that fucking drug. But she actually had integrity and followed the Hippocratic Oath and told them not to get it.
Good.
Right? 6,000 patients in her that she was in charge of 6,000 patients, like with doctors under her or whatever. I just posted about her, and I'm like, this is who the fuck they tell you. This is who they were telling you. Oh, Rick Rubin just had her on, Dr. Mary Bowden, MD. Okay, I would have made 1.5 million through Blue Cross's incentive program if she would have told her 6,000 patients to get the jabs. They were getting paid to do this. This was the biggest transfer of wealth. Everything behind COVID has now come to light. As we knew that it would. All the injuries, everything that's going on right now. And then what's the narrative now? Somebody says to me, yo, you're still yapping about that? Like, dude, it's the 4 to 5 years now that the experts said we're going to start seeing all the bullshit happen. That's where we are right now. And now your narrative is move on because you were wrong. Nah, it don't work like that.
Right. Well, it was just such a tremendous upheaval for everybody. And, even that's when I was kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here? I can't fathom how we live in this day and age in 2025, soon to be 2026, with all the information that is starting to surface, and they're still like, la, 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 la. Like, come on,
What does it say the definition of a psyop is? When only one narrative is allowed, and that narrative comes from the government. All other narratives are shot down, demonized. That's exactly what the fuck they did. Trust the science. That was their whole mantra. Science means you debate the science and come out with the best outcome. Where were the debates? There weren't any. They deplatformed all the doctors like Peter McCullough and everybody. Right. They deplatformed everybody. They only allowed their narrative, which was for them to make money and have massive control. A bunch of fucking nerds got to lock down the planet and tell you can't go outside in the sun and stay home and wear a mask. And it was like a sick fucking game of, like Simon Says, little fraud sheet. Yeah, let's put little fucking idols and make them walk that way. And they would
need to wear a mask.
They were having a laugh at everybody's fucking expense. And now the whole shit has come out. And now you're saying, oh, move on? My brother fucking had a stroke and died 6 months after he took the fucking booster in the VA that made him take it. So if you want to move on, motherfucker, you move on. You move on. But these people need to be held accountable. Why is this president having Albert Bourla in the fucking White House praising him, giving money to fucking Pfizer for more mRNA? And look what they did. They caused myocarditis and they caused all these cancers, Pfizer and Moderna, and now they're turning around coming out with mRNA shots for cancer and myocarditis. It's the same thing. And see, here's the thing. I'm well researched on big pharma's corruption. I've written books about it. You know, Monsanto was acquired by Bayer, right? Bayer. Yep. So what does Bayer make? Bayer makes cancer drugs for Hodgkin's lymphoma. What is the main ingredient in Roundup that Monsanto made? Glyphosate. What does glyphosate do? It causes Hodgkin's lymphoma. So now they put out a product that causes you cancer, and then they're turning around and selling you the cancer drugs. And now now the lawsuits are starting to come from universities are getting sued and jobs because they didn't recognize people's religious exemptions and all this shit. So the lawsuits are starting to come. And, you know, I always say like this: if your shit was safe and effective, why'd you try to hide the clinical data for 75 years? Why did you ask for exemption? How did these people get? People don't even know how it is that they got exemptions from the vaccines. That started under Ronald Reagan in 1980. And that program has gone on. Now they're giving the kids 78 shots. You're not an anti-vaxxer if you ask questions. You know?
Right.
You're not offensive if you say, why does this guru have $15 million in an offshore bank account? The similarities are fucking unreal.
And that's kind of the problem, is that, you know, we were talking about Reddit earlier, and I had posted a link to the show, and they were like, I don't understand why anybody would give this guy a platform. I'm like, well, that's where your problem lies, is that you...
That's what they said to the other guy. Why are you giving this guy a platform? Because you tried to destroy my fucking music, my coaching. They were writing my coaching clients, right? You fucking told people don't carry my books, don't book me, canceled me for speaking gigs. Fuck you. That's what I got to say. Yeah. Come up to my face and say some shit. When you try to bankrupt somebody from even being able to feed themselves or pay their rent, that's the type of fucking violence. And you call yourself hardcore punk, you're a fucking poser. You are full of fucking shit. Anybody that did that to anybody in the scene is full of shit. I don't care how many years you've been on the scene, how many records you put out, your fucking stage dives. It's all bullshit. Everybody was hardcore until it was time to do hardcore shit. Right. And you know what? I'm not saying it was everybody, but the ones that were the loudmouths, like I had people stand up and make posts like, yo, John Joseph's not a racist. That was another thing. I'm a racist. I'm a this, I'm a that. And the minute like any of them would try to defend me, 40 idiots would pile on. Fuck that guy. Fuck you. Unfollow this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody that posted a picture of them at the Tompkins Square protest show in 2021 caught slack until they took down the fucking post about being at the show. It's a super spreader, man. Yeah. Like, you know who the biggest fucking crybabies were? The hardcore punk scene around the world. Because we put on a show to protest the illegal lockdowns, that they were doing whatever they want. They destroyed my friends' businesses, everything, because they were deemed non-essential. They went and did whatever the fuck they want. They put the masks on in front of the camera. You see the videos, and then when the camera's off, all right, take the masks off. It was a fucking lie. All of it was a lie. It's been exposed. Follow the money. And now they want to keep saying, why are you giving this guy a platform?
Well, and it's like, I don't think I was going to say, like, if we're not allowed to discuss ideas, whether you agree with them or not, that's what happens, is it becomes this echo chamber. And then, hey, I'm not really sure about like this whole vaccine and this whole lockdown thing. Oh, yeah, you're a conspiracy theorist, and we need to shut you up, and you shut up, like
That to me ain't hardcore. That ain't the shit I've been involved. I'm one of the pioneers of New York hardcore. All right. And before that, I was going to Max's and then the fucking Mud Club and all the rest of the fucking clubs, hurrahs, like going to all the punk fucking gigs, CBGBs before the 80s. And like that to me, what I saw go down ain't got nothing to do with what the original scene was about. Because everybody was allowed to express themselves. That's what made the scene fucking great.
right.
You couldn't be like, saying the N-word and being a racist because you would get fucked up. But people had differences of opinion politically, and then it just became this like, no, this is the way it is, and if you don't believe what I believe in any situation, we're gonna.
And I hate you.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you. Keep hating, motherfuckers. And that's all I got. I ain't even gonna talk about that shit no more, man.
No,
they're
I hear
wrong.
you.
You were wrong. Suck it up, Buttercup. You were fucking wrong. You were on the wrong side of history. You defended scumbags against your own in the scene. And that's the facts.
Yep.
You defended Bill Gates. You defended Fauci. You defended the CDC and Pfizer, who's paid the biggest fines for medical fraud in history, and J&J and Moderna and AstraZeneca. That's who you sided with. None of them wanted to debate me. None of them wanted to debate me. They just wanted to slander and make shit and fucking post bullshit lies about me. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and push the night ghost. That's it. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
No, I hear you. I hear you, man, because it is like
they didn't stop me. They tried to stop me, but they didn't. And you know what? My girl said after everything they fucking did to you, man, like, how did you keep the fucking, how did you?
Uh-oh.
And I try to be a good person. I was still going out there. The time I ever wore a mask on the street was when I went out and fed the homeless, because the health department during COVID in 20. Yeah, they came out and made sure that we had masks and gloves and the whole shit. So,
Wow. Yeah, I mean it's just crazy, man, and this whole generation, I don't think they get it, man. Like, you even were like, what the fuck is Reddit, and I was like, Reddit is an echo chamber.
Internet.
Yeah, well, Reddit is an echo chamber where these keyboard jockeys just get on there and they can upvote your posts if they like it, or they can downvote it. When I posted it on there, it was massively downvoted because it's this false sense of power that they have, because they're like, oh, well, if we upvote it in the algorithm, more people will see this, but if we downvote it, more people will not see it. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, that's the culture that exists today.
Little knuckleheads. They post under fucking fake names and everything. I let motherfuckers know where I am every time I'm in New York. Come fucking, if you got anything you want to say to me, here's where I'm going to be. You know how many people showed up?
0.
None. Because I do shit. I'm old school. If I got something to say to you, I'm not going to talk about it online. I'm going to roll up on you and fucking say what I got to say to your face, positive or negative.
Yeah, man, it's just this, like you said, with cancerous type people. Yeah, like cancerous type people. This whole culture that we live in is just completely obsessed with. Yeah. Yeah. They just want to destroy you if they don't agree with you. Right. Right.
Come on, bring it, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Listen, man. Like, I walked through fire in this fucking life. You ain't fucking with me. Like, and that's why I never fucking took a knee the whole time. I kept fucking going the whole time. They tried to destroy my business. They tried to do everything to me. Even when Souls came out, they were writing what do you call it in Germany? That was fucking the record store there, and telling him, "Oh, we're gonna." What's that store in Berlin?
Cortex. Is it Cortex?
Yeah, and Cortex. And
yeah.
The dude was like, even though they tried to boycott Souls, the record, it was still #1 for fucking 3 weeks. And you know what people were saying? It's a great record. I just wish that motherfucker wasn't on it.
And it really is a good record, man. Yeah.
Dude, Tom Capone and Craig Satari and Darren from Morgenthaler, who played in Cro Mags, he filled in for Mackie on a tour. I mean, come on, man. It was like, that was the Ringer posse. I could sound like Tiny Tim and it would still be fucking good. But I brought the fucking thunder, and Laz from El Nino produced it, and this guy Johnny fucking worked with me on the vocals and everything. So, whatever. It's the new record will be out at some point. I don't think there's a huge like, oh yeah, we're gonna line up to buy it. It's like, we'll probably just put the motherfucker out for free. I don't care. Like, the music business is full of shit anyway. It always has been. I always called it out. Now they're robbing all the artists because they're cutting deals with the fucking streaming services behind. You get 20 million down listens to a song and get paid like $1,000. Now it's like, and I have no plans of doing hardcore tours. So who gives a fuck? I'm doing other shit when the record comes out. I'll be releasing singles of this other music too, which is fucking badass. And the book's coming out, and spoken word, and but I know you had asked me some other question about, about the Webster Halls.
Yeah. What was going on with that?
So this dude, which he just told a whole bunch of lies and referred to me as his ex-singer. I'm going to break down for you the real shit, because everybody knows why I quit the band in 87 on that tour, because the old bass player stole all the money at the end of the tour, got back together in 91. He worked out a deal with fucking Mark from MAD and Rob on that tour too, and robbed money from the Century Media record. It's just been a nightmare. And then even in 2000, whatever the fuck, I gave him another. So he's telling people that he was on the guest list and I was invited and all this shit, and I set him up. That's all a bunch of bullshit. Here's what went down with Webster Hall. Louise called me up about 2 weeks before the festival and goes, your ex-bass player wants to come up and play a song with you. I said, absolutely not. I said, he's been trashing everybody in the band, and we weren't illegally using the name as he claimed too. That's a bunch of bullshit too. But Mackie is down with the crew that he was talking shit about, and they were all there. I go, yo, it's not a good thing for him to come here. Absolutely not. I left word at the door for not to let him in if he comes up. And he went and did the American Hardcore panel at the CBGB's Festival at another venue. So we had the laminate. He said, he just said on a podcast and in his movie that he was on the guest list. He wasn't on the guest list. He was on the do not enter list. So he told Steve Blush, because after I called up Steve Blush, I go, yo, what the fuck, dude? And he goes, yeah, he was high on drugs, saying he's putting an end to you guys playing. And he flashed a knife that he had. So he uses the laminate to get into fucking Webster Hall, right? And sneaks in. My girl comes into the backstage. We were getting ready to go on. The intro was getting ready to come on. And we had about 10 minutes before the set time. We're sick of it all. My girl says, your ex-bass player's hiding in the crowd next to your fucking dressing room door. Because his whole plan was to come down on the stage and pull a knife and create a whole big disturbance and end the show. I told my nephew, I said, go down and get the security and get him taken out. I don't want nobody fucking fighting, nothing. It's going to ruin the show. When the security comes up, I'll come out and I'll say, yo, I'm going to play this show. And then any problem you got with me, I'll be outside. You come fucking find me. So then Mike, who was nicknamed Mike the Gook, whatever, wasn't even playing with us that night. He says to me, I go, nobody's doing nothing. And he goes, nah, the order came down. The order came down. I said, I don't give a fuck who the order came down from. Nobody do shit. So the dude was hiding by our dressing room door. And everybody knew this dude ain't rolling up there without something on him. So we're down on stage and the intro's on, you know, everything's blacked out. All of a sudden I hear a commotion. So they invited him in the dressing room, and then they went to take the fucking knife that he had off of him, and a scuttle broke out. He runs out of the dressing room with the knife, gets tackled by security, and slices his knee open, and then says, oh yeah, I got 4, stitches in the fight and all this shit. Everything that he says about that night, that I invited him, he had somebody in the dressing room, he heard me say, that's all a bunch of fucking lies. He was told not to come. He snuck in. He snuck in with a knife. He was saying he was going to do some shit, which I had a fucking pipe on stage. If he would have came down on stage, he was getting fucking clobbered. Trust me on that. But he didn't make it down to the stage because they brought him when he went into the dressing room, he got handled and the rest, whatever. He had to deal with what he had to deal with. I didn't have nothing to do with anything that went down that night. And he's just been going on podcasts and his movie and his book and telling a bullshit story. Just like he says on this podcast, the dude from Spin Magazine does. He says, oh yeah, I had a contract put out on me because I beat somebody up. You know who he was beating up? The gay people all over the Lower East Side. He was on the cover of a gay man's magazine, Gentlemen, Beware of This Skinhead, with him on the cover getting ready to fuck somebody up with like a chain. So they went to the Puerto Rican, the hitman, and put a $10,000 contract out on him. They seen me, which they knew me, because I fought them. And they were like, yo, out of respect for you, this dude's in your band. And we grew up with him. We know who he is. They paid us. He's been doing this shit. And they showed me the cover of the gay magazine. And I was like, yo, dude, I'll talk to him. They're like, yo, he's getting one warning. This is who he says he beat up. He didn't just beat up. He was doing it all over the Lower East Side. Him and all the fucking skinheads were gay bashing people with his swastika fucking tattoo. And that's when I told him who was sitting on a contract and he knew who they were. He took all his skinhead shit off. He grew his hair out, put on sneakers, and disappeared for a while. And that's how that whole shit went away. So
wow.
If there's going to be these stories of like, listen, everybody that was around back then knows what the deal is. But if you're going to sit there and throw my fucking, my ex-singer did this and my ex, there's a reason there ain't no reunion coming up. And it's because of that ex-bass player. Nobody wants to deal with him. Why did G-Man and all them just quit? Talk to G-Man. Talk to Gabby. He's a changed man. Bullshit. Go talk to them about how he treats people on the road and takes all the money. Go ask them. And then you're reaching out to me through other people like lawyers, like you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table. I don't want none of that money. I make a good living doing my coaching and I got book deals and whatever.
About money.
It's not about money. It's integrity. And I'll tell you right now, you know how many motherfuckers on the scene, if they were in my position, would go fucking do those shows? That ain't never happened.
A lot.
That ain't never happening. But if you're going to sit there and tell people that I set you up, that's a fucking lie. That's a lie. His whole Webster Hall narrative is a fucking lie. And I said to people, yeah, good luck in Rikers. He's a fucking, he's got a Swazi tattoo and he's a fucking white power skinhead. They fucking told the press that, not me. I didn't fucking try to do nothing to that dude. It's, he's like, dude, everything with that guy is just like, whatever, man. I'm not allowed to say his name, but you're over there trashing me in your documentary, which you signed a deal with me that we wasn't supposed to be saying shit about. So if you're going to say my ex-singer, then I'm going to say my ex-bass player and tell the real fucking story. His whole Webster Hall story is a bullshit story. And you can ask Louise what I told her. No, he's not welcome to come in there. And he snuck in with the laminate, and he snuck in with a knife and said, I'm putting an end to this shit. End of story. That's it. Yeah. That's the fucking story. I didn't invite him into the dressing room. I wasn't even there. I told the security, I told my nephew to get the motherfucker out of the club so that the show wouldn't be ruined, because it was us and then Sick of It All. We never got to play, and neither did Sick of It All. And he built a whole bullshit story around that whole fucking thing and made himself look like the victim. Meanwhile, how many times did you rob everybody in this band? And he ratted me out to the government. That's another thing people don't know. He got involved in a Century Media deal, and then he steals all the money from the bank account and then goes and be's a junkie. And I call up Century Media to get off the deal, and they're like, no, he signed you as an individual artist. Finish off the unfinished tracks. That became near-death experience, and give us a tour in Europe and a tour in the States. That's when he ratted me out to get me out of the way so him and Paris could go do the Cro Mags again. And they went to the 9th Precinct and informed on me for being AWOL and all this other bullshit. You lose all your street cred once you snitch. You got no street cred. So, and that was the whole deal, because I was doing another band and getting on Roadrunner, but Century Media wouldn't release me. Robert Kampf will tell you the whole shit, that the money, he just bragged, yeah, that motherfucker comes licking my balls and I stole 200 grand of his money, when he was opening up for the Misfits. The guy is not a good person. All his bullshit stories and all this shit, Mr. Tough Guy, give me a fucking break, dude. Give me a break with all that bullshit. I know real tough motherfuckers. They ain't out there selling themselves on everybody, how fucking tough they are, and all the rest of this bullshit. And you know what? If we sign a deal not to say nothing, then you're going to slag me and call me your ex-singer, who everybody knows who he's talking about, then fuck you. All bets are off. That's it. You fucking just listen. You want to go do that record? Go re-record it. You re-recorded it, go put it out. Go be famous, dude. That's what you want so bad. You're writing all these bands. You grew up on my music and you won't give me any shows. Yeah. Dude, go be fucking famous. I don't care. But if you think you're going to drag my name through the fucking mud like you're doing, fuck that, dude.
Yeah. Man.
Shut up. He was the ultimate backstabber. After I banged him out at CB's and then I seen him for that first time, I go, yo, sorry for fucking cracking you. You know what he said? And this was the last honest thing that dude ever said to me. He goes, I deserved it, and I deserved a lot worse for everything that I did to you. I was always a brother to that guy. You don't even know how many people wanted to fucking destroy him on the street, and they didn't because of me. I'm the one who grew up on the fucking streets. When shit got rough in the squat, he went to mommy's house on 12th Street. Okay? I'm the one that had no place to go. I'm the one who was incarcerated. I'm the one who was down there fighting motherfuckers, and not gay people, real motherfuckers. You know, it's just like, dude, why do you have to keep tarnishing what the band has done and shit on everybody else that was ever in the band? It's not a good look. Move on, dude. Go write some new music. You're the fucking icon of hardcore. You fucking go write some new music. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to rehash something I fucking did, 40 fucking years ago. In Age of Quarrel, I started writing all the lyrics to that in 84, 83 when I got out of the temple.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just like, it's like, dude.
It's fucked up.
Why do you have to keep lying? That's what I like. Yo, it's all bullshit. And you're preaching to these kids that don't know any better, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid and believing the shit. Oh, JJ's a fucking scumbag and all this shit. It's like, I never stole a dime. As a matter of fact, I just had Amit, who played on Alpha Omega Tour, say to me, yo, man, I'll never forget how you treated me and split all the money with all of us on that tour. When we went back after Homeboy stole all the money in 91 and gave me $700 for like 40 shows and came home with fucking stacks. And Mosh from MAD told me he had the whole shit planned out with Mark. And Mark's on the tour bus. Oh, brother, acting like I'm his best friend in the world the whole time, fucking stabbing me in my back at the end of the tour. Fuck all these people. Fuck all of them. And you know what? Amit said, dude, I'll never forget that when anybody got in the van with me and I was in charge, everybody got paid the same amount of money. This dude was telling Gabby and G-Man, if it wasn't for me, you'd be playing in fucking pizzerias and all this shit. Like belittling people. Like, yeah. Dude, who the fuck's going to put up with that? Now you got a bunch of fucking, whatever, man. Like, I don't care. Just don't drag my name into your lies, bro, because It's not a good look with all the shit that you've done. Snitching. You are not street. The minute you go and inform on somebody, and you could ask my brother, Eugenio is his fucking, they sent the cops to his house, banging down the fucking door to get me. Like, that street, they took orders of protection against me, those two guys. That street, you got an order of protection, and then you're talking about fucking street justice, and I'm this tough guy fighter on the streets? No, you're not. That's a fucking illusion, dude.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's just wild.
Let the Cro Mags be. Why do you gotta constantly shit on everybody that was in the band and fucking make yourself look like, you're the real guy? It was everybody. I don't ever take away from anything Kevin Paris did, Doug, Mackey. Everybody that was on that record, including him, made that record special. You take anybody out of that equation, you ain't getting Age of Quarrel.
Yeah, 100%, man.
That's what would happen if you got Raja. We got Raja. I always wondered that.
Yeah, man.
Why do you have to fucking always put everybody else down? Because don't make yourself. That's an ancient Buddhist saying. Don't make yourself try to make yourself seem taller by standing on the heads of others. Dude, be humble for once in your fucking life. That's why nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to do a reunion. They're telling me, oh, you guys can travel in separate buses. Why would I want to be in a band with somebody? I got to be in a separate tour vehicle. Because it's great money. Sorry, I don't do shit for money. Nope, sorry.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad that you're
still. Hardcore hit me up too.
Oh, he did? For This Is Hardcore?
Headline. I said, Joe. He called me up and he's like, yo, let me just say what I got to say. Next year is like the 20th or whatever and the 40th year of your record. And Joe's always done right by us. I just want to say that. Joe's a fucking stand-up dude that takes care of the bands. I said, Joe, what would be, he's like, oh, my boy, I could get you on like a great slot on Riot Fest in Chicago. I said, Joe, what would be the only reason why I would do that fucking shit? He goes, well, you know, the money's great. I said, exactly. And I don't do shit for the money, Joe. It's got to be about the heart. If the heart ain't there, I'm not there. If it ain't real, if it ain't fucking the real fucking Cro Mags, the real Mags, I'm not being involved. You can keep calling it that all you want. Whatever. Go fucking re-record every fucking album, every song. I don't care. But if you're gonna sit there and trash me and make it look like I set you up to be jumped and I'm a coward and all this shit that he said on another podcast, yeah, he wasn't even fucking man enough to face me yet. Dude, please, motherfucker. Anytime you want to find me, come fucking find me. That's what I got to say about all that tough bullshit.
And
you know?
yeah,
and
man.
like, dude, let it go, you know? Like, why do you have to fucking keep slandering everybody?
Right.
Like,
right.
It's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. All right. Well, one more time. City of Fear, what's the projected release date?
I don't know. I would say like early spring.
Okay.
You know, I don't know yet. I'm finishing up the book. It'll probably be done like in the next few weeks. But Ryan Adams has a book coming out too. We're supposed to do some events, book events together. So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Like, you know, I do, like, I'm even the Bloodclot music and this other music, man. I do music with people that I want to play with. And that, to me, I think that speaks for itself. That's why Souls was such an important record, or Up in Arms with Todd and all those guys, or even the first Bloodclot, Burn Babylon Burn. It was you know, it was always about the vibe of the music, you know. It's not like, oh, yeah. You know, it was never this like, oh, yeah, we're going to get a huge record deal and tour. And, you know, we're going to be on salary. And, you know, music is a vibe to me. I'm not looking to get fucking rich off of it. You know, I just like this other music. If you hear it, it's fucking like mainstream shit. But something that I really want to do. I grew up on soul music, and you know, I did an a cappella version of a fucking Spinner song, and I tagged them in it. They put it on their page. They're like,
oh,
this
shit.
dude got, yeah, this is how you come into, like, hey, I'll show you right here. And look, it's from their page. So
okay.
you know, my friend, that's what my friend said to me. Spinners, look. Be late, cause we ain't got time to chat. You and me, we're going out to hear the latest sound. Guaranteed to blow your mind so high you won't come down. They put it on their page. So my friend
That's
heard
awesome.
that. Dude, I'm going to challenge you fucking vocally, because you're not hardcore. You've been doing it for so long, but I really feel, you know, I studied under Don Lawrence, fucking like vocally trained. I'm running all the time. So just everything, man. I don't smoke. I take care of my voice. And he was like, dude, I'm going to write some shit that's really going to challenge you vocally. And that's what he did. He just sent me 3 songs. And, you know, it's like the fucking hook is like, and it's all based on, like, one's based on my book, Destroying Monsters. One's based on, like, because he's writing the music for the spoken word. So he wrote a song that, from the lyrics and the stuff that I'm writing about growing up on the street in New York and what I seen. And he put some of his stuff in there too, because he was a fucking heroin addict for years. And then the last one is from the memoir Evolution, how, like, the children pay for what the parents do. So it's like, these are very touching songs to me, where I can get into the emotion of them the same way that I could get into the emotion of what I was singing 40 something years ago. You know, like I feel it. If I don't feel it, like people said to me, when are you going to quit hardcore? I said, why should I quit? When I don't feel the shit anymore, I'll stop doing it. I can't go try to sing music where I'm really singing if I'm not feeling what the lyrics are about. And it was the same thing with hardcore. Like I'm feeling about the words that I'm writing on the page, and the emotion has to be there. That's you know, that's what the shit was all about. You know, when I was singing about street justice and survival of the streets and malfunction and we gotta know and fucking all of that shit, it's the limit about people testing you. You know, that's real shit. And this is real too. And I'll read you just before you go. I'll read you like the first verse of these lyrics, because
all right,
you know,
looking forward to it, man. Like you're still
man.
like you're an inspiration, man, because like I know you're up there and you're still doing the Iron Man and you're still doing great work, and I know you do your coaching. You help me a lot, and you know you're continuing to help people that are dealing with addiction and things of that nature, and that's just a real inspiration, man. I think that's incredible.
Thunder in the silence, ghosts in the room, father's eyes in the mirror, couldn't come too soon. My father showed up right before he died, when my brother was dying in the VA. Like,
oh wow,
it was crazy. And the chorus goes, I've been destroying monsters, just didn't know I was one. Burned every bridge back home. Now I'm staring at what I've become. This is about addiction. But if there's still a fire, if there's still a flame, let me walk through it all just to earn back my name. Because I did so much shit when I was an addict and hurt a lot of people around me. And I accept responsibility for that.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I've been there.
These are very fucking. And then this is about my brother. I see my son in a picture frame. His smile don't know my shame. He don't know his daddy once stole the sun just to feel like someone. And then these lyrics are me. I bled on tracks they'll never play. Thought of love and didn't get to stay. Lost myself in 1,000 highs just to wake up where the devil lies.
Beautiful, man. That's wonderful.
I mean, this is the type of shit. I get goosebumps when I sing this shit. It's like, it's a feeling, man. It's a vibe. And that's what, like I said, in my memoir, when I was living in the foster home and being abused, and all I had was this little under the flank, like soul music.
I think you broke up real quick. Oh, you timed out for a second, but you were talking about being in the foster home. Uh-oh. Are we lagging? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're lagging. But listen, all right, we can end it there.
All right, man. No. Well, dude,
Yeah, you are.
I really... Okay. Man, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I know that we can find you on Instagram and on your website, Instagram, John Joseph Discipline, and johnjosephdiscipline.com.
The website is
so yeah, everybody please check that out, and you know, give my man here a follow, and please support everything that he's doing. If you don't mind sticking around for just a few minutes afterwards, just to do a quick post game, I think without the connection we'll be okay. But like I mentioned at the top of the hour, I got a lot of projects. Come inside and meet my punk rock family at Rev HQ, my buddy John Cuccinello, and please support Lou from Sick of It All. The QR code's up there. Hell's Heart. Yeah.
Lou is one of the best human beings, man. Like,
yeah,
Lou's a special guy. You know, him and his brother, man.
100%, 100%. And
That's
like I mentioned before, hellsheartco.bigcartel.com. Use code 20 for 20% off your entire order. We got some Run Double Run shirts up there, Don Foose. So check those out. I think you'll really enjoy them. And yeah, like I said, please support John on all his platforms. And on this platform, click on the bell for notifications, subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, give us a follow and give us a rating. That'd be fantastic. Again, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Namaste. God bless. Be good. Thank you. Thank you so much, John. Hare Krishna. God bless you.
God bless.
Hell's Heart!